at all today. I really didn't. So yeah, we're just going to wait for some people to join, and we're going to get into this. We're definitely going to get into this. I think it's again. I think this is a very important conversation. Uh, and look at that, people in the YT already. Okay, let's talk about this, people. And my good friend Narcastic is here. Um, Let me see. All right. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. Yeah, sure. Whenever is oh, you just got the #1 viewer badge. Yeah, come up when it's capable for you. Not like there's anybody here just yet. It's always that struggle in the beginning. Um, but again, I think we're giving important information, so I have no fears that the people that need to be here, the people that need to actually hear this message, will be able to hear it. So yeah, I think that's going to happen. Um, so let's see. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Now that I got that figured out, I don't know why I do crazy stuff like that. It's like out of all the times to think to reboot the computer, I pick now. But we're live on all three networks, so I think that's a good thing. So let's discuss it. Let's talk about it. Do you think that the narcissist is going to change at some point in their show type life? Do you think that they are going to change? That they're going to understand the things that you've been trying to impress upon them during the course of your whole relationship? Do you think that they are good? Thank you for sharing live. I appreciate you. Do you think that they're going to find it within themselves to change? And there's no right or wrong answer. It's all dependent on you and how you think things are going to play out. You know, um, I personally, there was a time where I thought that all the effort that I was putting into the situationship was going to force change. I mean, change is one of those constants in this reality. We assume that everything changes to some extent. We think that we as people, when we bring it down to a humanistic level, we think that we as people, through the years, we will change. We pick up new information, we meet new people, we embed new ideas, we read different books. Sometimes even a book can change the whole outlook that you have on life. Um, but we're talking about the narcissist here. We're talking about a person with a fractured identity. We're talking about a person that has no sense of self, does not believe in themselves. They actually are on a mission to spend most of their life to push down pain and trauma that they experienced at a younger age. That is their whole focus, and they never are going to deviate from that course. Ever, ever, ever. I just watched another video from Lee Hammond. I love that guy. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. He is a self-aware narcissist. Okay, very popular on FB, definitely popular on TikTok. I tend to watch him because he gives me insights on the disorder that is NPD, narcissistic personality disorder. And he just put up another video today where he actually admitted, I am not healed. The man said he has been in therapy for 9 years. And he feels within his soul of souls that he is not healed. Now, this is coming from a person that has actually sat down and put in the work, going to therapists once or whatever, sitting down, bearing his soul, explaining to his therapist what he thinks, what he goes through. He actually ended his video clip by saying, I'm just trying to become the best version of myself. But no, I'm not healed. That says a lot. That says a lot from a person that is not only popular, okay, not only popular on social media because of the insights that he gives to survivors as to why you are suffering through this bad-ish situationship, but He's actually admitting that this is something that is incurable. This is something that you cannot go to Rite Aid or CVS. Well, I think Rite Aid is closed. You can't go to your pharmacist and say, hey, listen, I need something preferably over the counter that will help my partner become the person that I envisioned in the beginning. I need something that's going to cure NPD. It's not going to happen. There are very few narcissists that take the path that Lee Hammond has taken, as trying to actually uncover insights into why they behave the way that they do. Again, he admits, I'm not healed. So it comes to ask the question in your interpersonal relationship with a narcissist, why do we constantly hold on to the hope that this person can heal? In a sense, it's us being a little bit selfish because at the end of the day, we want the person that we met in the beginning. That person had so much potential. That person had so much promise. And believe it or not, I'm going to tell you something that's going to hurt a lot of people when I say this. That person was what you needed. That illusion that you saw was what you needed at the time. You have to admit it. You have to admit it. This is why you fell so hard into the trap. This is why you saw the bear trap and you walked right into it. Because deep down at a core level, it was something that you needed. See, many people can't, they can't agree to that. They can't take that in and say, you know what, yeah, that's why I went the extra mile with this person. This is why I allowed this person to hurt me so much. This is why I allowed this person to play in my face. Because look at how I'm phrasing this, because I needed them to be the person that I met in the beginning. We have literally pushed our dreams, our hopes, our goals onto a person that is dedicated, skin in the game, boots on the ground to destroying us. And just by them, just the day-to-day conversations that we're having with them, they tell us in so many ways. They tell us, no, I don't value this relationship. You do. And listen, I want you to keep on trying. In fact, I appreciate it if you keep on trying, because the more you try, the more supply that I get. And you know what? It seems like you just want me around. So I'm going to stick around until either I destroy you or I drain you of everything that I need to sustain my fragile ego. In fact, it's not even an ego, it's a hodgepodge of all the things that all the people that I've met throughout my life. So there's no stable identity. And then let's break down the word narcissistic personality disorder. Let's look at that. Narcissistic personality disorder. Okay, so we know what the narcissist is. But let's look at the word personality. Let's take a deep dive into the word personality. Personality is something that you form throughout your life. And it's kind of the anchor that keeps you being authentic. That's your personality. You're kind of locked into that. For the most part, there's changes along the way. You tweak the engine that is your personality, little tweaks, but that's you. That is you. If a person had that, they would describe you by your personality. Oh, that's a good person. That's a giving person. That's a loving person. That's a caring person, or that's a negative person, or whatever. But that becomes your personality. That's what anchors you into this reality. This is what anchors you into yourself. But look at the narcissists. From an early age, they have embedded this narcissistic personality into their life. That is who they are. That is what, thank you, Lord, for joining. That's who they are. At their very core, they are the narcissist. This is how they have chosen to live their life. Little changes to the script along the way, but the personality stays intact. That's who they are. That's who they will always be. You know, so when we look at that, again, just looking at the word itself, you know, when we look at so we have narcissistic, we have personality, then we have the, hey, what's up, narcissistic? Then we have the big word. This is the huge word, disorder. Not illness, not sickness, disorder. And you have to look at this word because disorder tells us, it kind of tells us that there is no cure coming. Nothing whatsoever. So we know that this person, by default, this is the operative word, is a narcissist. We know that their personality, they've given their whole life to building this personality of narcissism. Okay. And the disorder basically tells us there's no easy fix for this. In fact, as far as most mental health professionals tell us, there's no freaking cure. There's nothing you can do. Again, I bring back to your attention, I'm watching Lee Hammond today, and he actually said he's been in therapy for 9 years. And he actually said, I am still not healed. That should tell you a lot. So if you think using narcissistic personality and disorder, if you think that this person is going to heal, that this person is going to come around to fulfill what is basically your need. See, they don't want to go to being a regular human being. You need them to. You. It's all you. And this is where your hope comes from. This is where it comes from. Because you are saying, I need the person that I met in the beginning. I need the person that made me feel seen. I need the person that made me feel special. That person never existed. That person was the greatest Broadway play ever. It was. I know you laughing, ain't you?
I love you.
But it's true. Go ahead. I'm going to let you speak.
Oh, yeah. They're a fairy tale, you know, and mine in particular was the most orderly, disordered person that you could ever imagine. And he lives by that order. He needs, you know, he has the same thing that he does every day religiously. Like, he wouldn't even eat tuna salad that I made because he couldn't count the number of protein grams he was getting. Like, he could tell you by the end of the day how many grams of protein he had taken into his body. He would eat tuna straight out of the can. That's how controlled he was with everything that he did. And that's what he lives and hides behind. So everyone thinks he's so structured and so disciplined, and there's no way that anyone who lives like that and can recite scripture like that from the Bible could be doing the most perverse things when no one's looking, right? Or be abusive, or, you know, not be a good husband, and, oh, she didn't appreciate you. You know what I mean?
Right.
That was my experience.
No.
So, yeah, I'm loving your little rant today. It's awesome.
Thank you. I tend to rant sometimes because this stuff really bothers me.
And they think they're perfect. They absolutely think themselves to be the, you know, exceptional individual, and we're just so far beneath them.
Yes. Thank you, No Talks, for the repost. But yeah, I tended, you know, that was kind of hurtful for me near the end, because I was like, I started to remember all the times that we were out and we could have just walked out of the house after a rage out. You know, and they're smiling in every people's face, and, oh, I need to pay this forward. I'm going to pay for the person behind me. Of course, they have to say it loud enough for everybody to hear, but it was the illusion. I got a different illusion, but it's like they constantly, I guess the right word or the wrong word would be, they try to love bomb the public into believing that they are this stellar person, this stellar citizen. And I get the reason why they do it, because, see, if they're portraying themselves, get this clear, people, this is why they will never change, because this is part of their MO. if they're portraying themselves to all the world as if they are the most loving, caring person in the world, treating you like crap, trust me, that helps the smear campaign. Because everybody's looking at them and they're saying, but they're so nice. I said I was hungry and they brought me a sandwich. And, you know, this happened and they was there for me and they gave me a ride to another state, you know, because my car broke down. And what happens is when you start telling your story, you soon find out that there's been a whole different narrative pushed out there. And now you're jumping through hoops because here it is again. You know what the hell you experienced. You know it. And nobody, friends, family, co-workers, nobody wants to believe it because of the mask that this person is wearing. You know, and if this goes on in every dynamic, every situationship with a narcissist, let me ask you a question. If I can tell you this is what happens, and you can agree that this is what happens, at what point do you think they're going to change? They've been doing this their whole life. At what point, thank you, user 605. I appreciate you chiming in with that. I appreciate. What makes you check? What makes you think that this person is going to become what you want? And I'm going to go over a lot of things today because that falls into the hoovering, that falls into the new supply, that falls into just getting clarity. Because again, this is not them. They're making it clear every day. My job is to hurt you. My job is to make you feel less than. My job is to devalue you. Nothing more, nothing less. So, who actually wants the relationship to continue on? Is it them or is it you? Put that in the comments, please. Hey, Nog Talks, what's up? Hopefully everything's all right, Missy.
Oh yeah, it got worked out. Well, for temporarily. So yeah.
Okay. We can discuss it offline.
Personal, but
that's your personal business. We can discuss it offline if you feel
even
like you want to.
It sent my nervous system into a spiral. And I'm sorry, like all day yesterday, I was so distracted from my purpose, and it started right away in the morning. It was like an emergency.
No, I get
and an emergency and an emergency. So it tends to build. Yeah. But you know, I think we handled it as best as we could, and our family communicated about it, and so anyway, here I am today, still kind of recovering from it. But I do want to say something about that.
Please.
Because now I know I don't believe in like checking their social media, but he popped up as people you may know on my Narc Talks channel.
That means he's creeping you.
I looked at his thing. Mm-hmm. Oh boy. Yeah, and I'm even worse now because like he used to keep this image like for you Narctastic, he like as if he was perfect. He was like the best single father. He was all health conscious, all this stuff. Now he's making this content which is like this wicked clown character, and then he's making music. And in the music, it says that he is basically saying that he's possessed by this wicked clown female who visits him at night and tells him what kind of songs to make. Yeah. And it just,
is he possible? Can I ask you, is it possible that he's using?
Could be. He was an addict. I mean, that's what he got locked up for. But he always claimed. Yeah, he has turned completely to the dark side, and like when we were talking about demons, the words in this song prove that he is demonically possessed, because this clown character that he's like now making into an AI character and stuff. In the song it says that she comes to him at night and she saved his life, pulled him out of some kind of darkness, and it's just wicked.
Oh, wow.
My ex would say that spirits work at night. It seems like they know this,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's just caused me to go into, like a spiral, so I'm just not feeling well again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, because I'm trying to focus, and I know that once you get close to your purpose, and once you like really are about ready to do something amazing for the world, yes, and this, and like it started yesterday with a family emergency, and then I think this is what happens is like when I start to spiral out, I will go and check on him. It's like it's just like a nervous system reaction. Like, okay, well, what is actually going on? I need to make sure I'm safe. And it's like, I'll go check. And that right there made me go, okay, no, this is demonic possession.
Right. So.
And I know we were talking about it, so.
Yeah, no. I feel you. One thing I have noticed about TikTok, if you haven't seen a certain profile come up, that usually means that they're creeping your stuff. Even if
and it has in your privacy section, privacy settings where you can opt, even if you have the person in your contacts, where it should not be connecting to your contacts, but it's still pushing us out.
Right, it will.
It still pushes you out. It's so don't.
Really
I never assume that any of my accounts are invisible to him. At all.
Yeah, I mean, there's been days
just part of the deal.
I would rather not see it. I would I went through it.
Well, just block that
I was like adamant about. Oh yeah, he's blocked the guy. I mean, he comes up with so many new accounts. That's part of their mask. It's like they create these new personas because they have nothing to work with. But like now, apparently, he's got something guiding. It's just weird.
That's scary.
I don't.
That is scary.
If they're empty, if they're empty from their trauma.
Yeah,
then what happens? We're talking about demonic possession.
Yeah, there are some. When you go through all your comments and you like stuff, and it says suggested accounts. I actually there was one day like it seemed like their whole family was on there, and I'm going to say 90% of them, I don't follow them anyplace. They've never been attached to my social networks, and there's 2 of them that actually are not in my contacts because I never wanted to call them. So I mean, and I can usually see as they climb up, as they're binging more and more of my content because their icon will just move up, but I never click it. I just never click it. Right. I don't want to. I don't care what you're doing.
I really didn't. But when I saw this really wicked looking clown character, I was like, wait, this is associated with his name.
Right.
And I was like, what is this?
Right.
And this is exactly why I'm like, don't look, block it. I keep telling myself, don't look, because it's always something. It always triggers me.
Right. No, I get it.
Yeah.
I made a one
sheet.
It's like
seeing a big accident about to happen, and then you're not going to watch the accident happen. Like, I know we don't want to be looking at their content.
Yeah, but you peek.
Then it,
it's hypervigilance, they call it.
Yeah.
Yes. I got to keep making sure that I know that he's staying 3,000 miles away from me. That's
right.
The deal. It's like
you don't want to see a
post
that he moved into your neighborhood.
Maybe once a month I'll go peeking, and that's it. And I just roll my eyes at the ridiculousness of it all.
Right.
It's affecting me less now.
Yeah, you're right. It's just
I
need to roll my eyes because I like it. But the whole talk we had about are they demonically possessed and stuff like this? I believe that song proves it.
Yeah, I think it's sensitive for you. I actually go ahead and I made a free one sheet that actually addresses this. See how the universe works? I actually made it today. It's at the top of my my thing at the blueprint, and it's free. So it's a one sheet for people that sometimes it may not fit you exactly. But those times where you feel that you need to answer their text when the text has nothing to do with anything important, it's just deep down inside it's a Hoover attempt. And I think
they're trying to bait you,
Huh?
They're trying to bait you. They're trying to bait you into a conversation.
Right. So I
mean, this is all a ploy for attention. I mean, from either from everyone, I think, because he had already he made some really kind of dark music, and his mother, who's Christian, confronted him and said, I don't know what's wrong with you, but I'm going to pray for you.
I hope you get help. And then because he has issues with her, he blocked her.
Oh, wow.
And so I think this is, I really think that this is him, part of their thing where they want to get this attention, and whether or not it's positive or negative, sometimes I think it's better when it's positive, because it's like, I mean, maybe they're faking it, but this is like,
well, it sounds to me like he's done nothing but regress since, I don't know how long ago you guys were together, but he sounds like he's going down the wrong
downhill.
It's been downhill. And that's what they do, is they ultimately just, like going back to the topic of the live, do they change? Not for the good. They always end up destroying themselves and being alone,
Yeah, I think Dr. Romani, I was looking at her earlier today, said something about that, the fate of the narcissist, And you're right, that those are little tweaks. I mean, once they lose their worldly charm, they're being handsome or being beautiful. Once they lose that, they change because they become more venomous, because the thing that they used to be able to utilize to get supply no longer exists. Gravity takes over. People stop going to the gym, so that thing that you used to validate yourself no longer exists, and they become super angry. That's the only shift in that they become more, I guess the word she used is more volatile, because they are, again, their life is based on constant supply. And once they reach that peak where people are not turning their heads, people are not giving them a second look, people are not hanging on their every word, they panic. They begin to panic. So this, sometimes they do. They probably are outside looking into these lives without joining them, saying, you know what, maybe I am a demon. Let me just go ahead and give in to my full capabilities, because they know what they're doing, so that they know what they're doing deep down inside is evil and it's wrong. So I mean, I don't know this person, but I wouldn't see it as a heavy lift for a person with narcissistic. I mean, look throughout history. Look at the guy that Helter Skelter was based on. Look at Jim Jones. These were all textbook narcissists. These
psychopaths, right?
Yeah. They were textbook.
So he might be.
Good.
Oh my gosh, he might be more in that realm.
Yeah.
Or either that, or he's just trying to front like that's his new mask. I don't know.
I mean, sometimes I go through that rabbit hole. I don't know why TikTok shows me this stuff, but I look at all the people throughout history that have started these cults, and it always is the same thing. These people seem on the outside charismatic. They're very cruel, to the people that actually follow them. They want complete control over the people that are there with them. And they feel that they're above reproach. They feel that they're the authoritative one. And usually their doctrine includes the fact that they are superior, or as they like to use, they are like the second coming of Christ, or they're godlike. And these are that's at least five. That's at least five of the NPD criterion. So yeah, I mean, and they hide behind religion. And I'm not going to pick any religion. They hide behind any religion because there's a sense of control. These people are going to listen to me.
Well, there was a time when he was saying he is now a renunciant, and it was right after I lost my son, and he couldn't be here for me. Mm-hmm. He was like, "Well, I'm now a renunciant, and I'm gonna go be a monk." And I was like, "What?"
Yeah,
that was very short lived, but now it's total 100% just wickedness, wicked clown.
It is. It really is. And we find ourselves trying to figure it out. Again, I got to tell you something. Part of, what we go through is because of our needs. Okay? Because at the end of the day, it really is our needs. Because you don't want this person back to make them a better person for the rest of the world. Let's be honest. You want them back to be the person that you wanted in the beginning. You're not trying to solve the world's problems with this person. You're not bending over backwards because you think that they're going to have the next breakthrough in science. You're doing it because you want the person you met in the beginning. It's your wants, your needs. And don't fool yourself and think it's anything different. Yeah, you want to heal people, but you're working extra hard on this person because you need them to come back around. You need them to understand that you actually love them and that they should love you. You have to be honest. And this is...
You think that maybe he's playing on that right now?
He could be. He could be. I've given up on wondering what the hell my narcissists will ever do, what they'll ever think I do. I used to put up the...
It makes no sense.
Yeah. IDGAF.
Yeah, gaslighting his mom with that content, honestly. He's gaslighting his mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
attention.
and he even made a song where it was like, he made a song about how he was a abandoned orphan, and that was totally to get at her.
Yeah,
for sure. And then I was listening to Dr. What's her name, Ramani, this morning as well, which is funny. I listened to a couple of things she said, and she definitely said that these narcissists all come from a narcissistic family dynamic.
They do.
Like it's within the family.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They do.
Well,
you can see it. And again, we brush it off and say, well, not everybody's family acts the same. Not everybody's family thinks the same. No, it's dysfunction, and you see it, and you kind of say, either, oh, well, not everybody's the same, or you say, it's none of my business. But we see the dysfunction. The constant, one sibling against the other. Then you have the ringleader parent that is actually pitting these fights. Because it gives...
funny because ringleader.
Yeah, it gives them a sense of control. If I can have...
It's a multi-generational thing, It's a multi-generational thing. It's taught from generation to generation.
I don't think so. And I'm not disputing what you say. But I don't think so because, like I said, my grandparents, they were my anchor. They actually were my emotional safe space. My mother, a whole different can of worms. But, my grandparents, they were always, all the little things that I've embedded into my personality, I'd say a good 70% came from them. How the world works, how to, be caring, how to be understanding, how to protect yourself. I mean, my grandmother was teaching me about boundaries when I was like 7 years old. The importance of boundaries. So I don't think maybe there's a jump in generations, but my grandparents were not controlling. In fact, they were more the type that, as far as their children, my aunts and uncles, you pissed them off, or my grandmother had like multiple strokes from dealing with them, or if you piss her off, they would just, that's the boundary. Don't call here. Don't bother us.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I never met my great grandparents. Maybe they had it in them, but I would never think that the most love I experienced growing up actually came from my grandparents, as far as the familial ties. So I had a couple of aunts and uncles, but
thank God for your grandparents.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's why they made sure I came up there every summer, because I think they understood. They were the ones that told me that your mother treats you this way because my father died when I was 2. So they basically was telling me, she's kind of taking it out on you, without saying she's taking it out on you. So yeah, I mean, we have to, but again, we can blame the whole world, and I'm not trying to be rude here, but we can blame the whole world for our situation. But at the end of the day, no matter if it's their parents, their great-grandparents, their great-great-grandparents, we're still the ones that suffered through this. We're still the ones trying to pick up the pieces. We're still the ones going to therapy. So
dysregulated.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I know I got the tools, but sometimes I just have to sit with it,
Yeah.
And all it takes is one little thing like that to I'm telling you, to make you feel like you got hit by a truck.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it just knocks the wind out of your sails. Yeah, you can't. You're like exhausted for 2 days.
Yeah.
You know, you're trying to get yourself back to where you were. We have to be hyper vigilant in our recovery, because that's exactly what happens. Is they're like, oh, she's doing way too good. Let's
let's flick off her nerves,
smash her over the head.
Yeah.
With something.
Yeah. Hey, Supreme. Yeah. No, somebody on the upper feed. Hey, Supreme, peace. Yeah,
I'll put my halo on. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I mean, it's work. It's work, and like we said, Dr. Ramani, she even said it's not easy. It's not easy, and I think people from the outside looking in, they don't look at it. They look at it like a regular relationship, and they say, "Oh, you should have been over this by now." Here you are. You're still a year in, and you still don't trust anybody. And I thought you was working on healing. Yeah, but it's not going to happen overnight, because the dysregulation, the intermittent reinforcement, the gaslighting, the playing in your face didn't happen overnight. It happened over the course of years. Go ahead.
That really bothers me, because I just got out of this relationship 2 months ago or so. Just past 2 months, and there's people telling me, oh, you shouldn't be posting about this or saying this or that or whatever, and I'm like, who are you to tell me what I'm going through?
Right.
What? These people just expect you. They don't understand. That really upset me. I just was like, okay, I won't post anything,
No. Please continue to
healing
post
as a
what
personal
you
feel. I'm saying on my personal Facebook page or whatever.
But it's your page. It's your page.
Yeah, I know.
They can scroll.
They can go past. It's the same way I feel. I don't care how any of my narcissistic abusers feel about what I'm doing. If you're blocked, you're kind of weird if you're creating a new account to come peek at me or using somebody else's account. So that's not my problem. And B, if you can spend time smearing my name, why can't I tell the truth? The truth with receipts. Why am I not allowed to tell my truth? Again, we get tired. We have protected this person throughout the relationship. We have basically hidden the secrets of what we went through from everybody, because not for us, for them. We didn't want people to see them in the wrong light, because we still cared. Okay? So at what point do you feel that you should now stifle yourself? That you should now not keep the peace? Not ruffle anybody's feathers. At what point did the narcissist care about ruffling your feathers when they were playing in your face? At what point did they care about ruffling your feathers when they were telling outright lies about you? So no, do what you want. The only person that protects is the narcissist. That's it. Y'all get me upset.
And no, thank you. But healing is a personal journey.
Yeah.
And no one can tell you where you're at, where you need to be in the whole process, because it's you. It's your inner world, it's your inner compass that you're finding.
Right.
And I went through it too. I used to be the queen of they found me on Facebook, and it was like all my algorithm was the narcissist, and I was like, repost. Oh yeah, this is him, Oh my God. And then I remember a lot of my friends backed off, and I think, if anything, I didn't want to be a bummer on their little, scroll experience. So I started backing
off. That's why I built the two. That's why I did what you did and built, the two narcissistic pages devoted to my healing and posting whatever I want to, so that the people on my personal pages don't have to be subjected to it, because apparently they don't like it very much. And I'm just like, whatever, you had to send me 5 paragraphs about why I shouldn't be posting this. What? Okay. And who are you, Danny Pruitt? I don't even know you.
Flying monkey, someone said.
I don't even know you.
But yeah, I mean, I have a nonprofit, You know, so I got no choice in the matter. I have to be, because my goal is to reach more people and help them get through trauma. So, you know, again, I don't control the interwebs. I don't. You can go where you want to go. But like I said, it's kind of weird if you're making it clear that you don't like me, you don't like what I'm saying, the truth. You know, why are you concerned with what I'm putting on my page? That EULA agreement was made with whatever social network that I created account with. Your name is not in the fine print. So you don't get to say that what I should or what I shouldn't do. Only the company that owns that social media app should have that ability. You know, I mean, I find, let me just say this before I let y'all jump in. So I took a couple of quotes from Carl Jung, my favorite. He goes first. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life. You know, and that speaks to the hope and potential that you're holding on to. Unconsciously, you know that this is a bad apple. You know this, you know, and you are not dealing with it. And most importantly, you're not dealing with the fact as to why you are right here, right now in this situationship. Dr. Ramani says narcissistic patterns are rigid and resistant to change. I just talked about that earlier. They're not going to change. Resistant. They are resistant to change. That means, in my mind, that they're just going to tweak the script to fit their needs at the time. You know, and here's the thing. You have to ask yourself, how many times have you seen the same behavior repeat over and over and over the freak again? We see it. We see it. We see you can't unsee a pattern. You can't. You notice, hell, if you was at a casino and you figured out that if you pulled the slot handle or pressed the button a certain way, it was going to give you a win, are you going to keep that pattern going? More than likely. So if you see the pattern that is being thrust upon you, why are you not responding to it? Why are you not saying, well, this machine isn't paying me off, I'm losing? Because essentially that's what you're doing. Why are you not breaking free from the pattern? Think about that for a second. Yeah, y'all can talk. I'm sorry. I'm still upset. But y'all can talk.
I think it's a dysregulated nervous system. Mm-hmm. You know, because like if you look at brain scans from like someone who's got a regulated brain to someone who's dysregulated, there's like so many things firing off at the same time in a dysregulated brain.
Right.
That you can't. That's the fog they talk about. That's the confusion. Yeah. And it's like, well, this worked before, so I need to go. You know, you want to get that hit every time, the dopamine hit. Like, well, if I stay here and I'll get that, you know. Right.
But the time when you
eventually
feel
you learn that. Yeah, and that's what I'm kind of struggling with right now. Is that, well, even though he's a separate person from me, why do I feel so disgusted and so appalled and so pulled back into myself because of what he's doing in his separate life? You know, way over there in his dark corner of the universe, why do I feel so affected by it? And I'm kind of struggling with that right now, but I think it's a dysregulated brain right now. I'm just like...
Well, can I ask you a question? You don't have to answer, but how long have you been out?
Oh, months.
Okay.
But, you know, like knowing what, like doing the little thing where I would check on him and like... He, you know, him showing up at my door created another, you know, like us talking.
Right.
So like, but we've been, I've been watching him as a narcissist for at least 4 years, knowing that, you know, I'm here as the observer, and seeing him in his mode of operation. It's just, you know, like I said, it's like you see it all fall together, you can't unsee it, and the only thing that I needed to look at that point was, why am I still involved?
Right.
Why am I, you know, like taking this place that's like, even though it's separate from him, we haven't lived together since 2022.
Okay.
Yeah. And just like this complete you know, like me moving away from him. Every time he pushes me away, I actually go away, you know, like, okay, bye. Okay. You know, I see him as like he's on a boat and, you know, he's like, he pushes me away, but his boat just keeps going further and further away, you know.
Yeah. It's a lot to deal with. I mean, I'm not going to lessen it and thank you for Light Snark Healing Journey. I'm not going to lessen what you're saying. And this is what many people go through. You know, it's really not that simple. I mean, we look at POWs that come home after being, you know, sent through the gamut mentally, you know, by the enemy. And it takes them a long time. Some of them never do get it back together because their mind has been played with. And this is what happens in a narcissistic situationship. They have been literally playing with your mind as if you were a brand new toy. This is what they do. This is how they get self-satisfaction. You know, they need to find ways to make it feel as if they are your everything. You know, and we do feel that way. I'm not going to lie. I felt that way at one point. You know, this person, and that's what made me try harder. You know, and I'm going to tell you guys, up in my bio, there's a free worksheet. If you feel that pull, you know, it's free, completely free. If you feel that pull where you are being drawn back in, sometimes, you know, thank you, Narcastic. Sometimes, you know, it's just like they have a pattern that you're starting to see through. You need to create your own pattern, you know, of protecting your peace, of protecting yourself. Because it's like that clip that I said earlier, you know, you respond to their text, you know, and you feel good for a few moments. You do, you because you think there's hope. They send you back a friendly response, and you're like, oh my God, there's hope. There's hope. They're coming back. They finally get it. They finally get it. And then 24 hours later, you realize that was the worst thing that you could have did. That was the worst thing that you could have did. Was respond to that text. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I'm just agreeing with you. And the checking of the social media, it keeps that connection alive. And I'm telling you, I'll post about marriage. He posts about marriage. I post a video of myself at the gym doing deadlifts. He posts a video. It's like it's keeping that connection alive. He's still mirroring me, you know. And I should not go look at that because it keeps that tie to him. And it's his non-invasive way of maintaining control.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
No, it is. It is.
Yeah, same. Yeah, because I was the one too. The same. That's funny because I would do like, oh, I'm having a green smoothie today. Next thing you know, he's posting, oh, I'm having a smoothie. It's like, wow. But I would rather. I mean, I would rather he stayed in that realm. You know.
They're doing it. Like, that's like when we were in person and I would say something like, whatever, in a certain tone, like, oh my God. And he would go, oh my God. Like, he was always mirroring me and mimic me right after I said something. He would say it right back to me. It's the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
Why do they do that?
And that's why we tend to, like, hide out. I went through a phase where I just hid out and I went private mode. Everything was like, I didn't do anything on social media because I knew that this dude was stalking me and trying to replicate my image out there.
Yeah.
And that's happened before in my life. You know, that wasn't the first time that's happened. It seeps me out to the point where I don't.
Invasion of body
he's using my image and the image of his family to hide behind. You know, so it's he's mimicking them and their energy, and you know, like.
And yet you're still jealous of everybody. How does that happen?
Yeah.
How do you try to take pieces of somebody, and this includes family, and you're still jealous of them? I don't understand that. Somebody explain that to me.
But I think because if he's not in a relationship with somebody right now, and he doesn't have a direct supply, that family he's living with, you know, his sister's husband, and her kids, and everybody, I think he's going to start dismantling them from the inside out.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know.
It spreads.
Why do people think that narcissists have common sense boundaries. I mean, knowing what a narcissist
or good intentions.
Yeah,
or good intentions.
I would never, if I had a wife, you know, there is no way that I would let someone that I even thought was a narcissist live with us. You know, because it doesn't become something like, okay, this is my brother, this is my friend, this is my whatever. You know, there's certain boundaries that I have to respect. Not to a narcissist. Not at all to a narcissist. That means nothing to them. You know, so
I feel like they have to be the puppet master. I feel like they have to be the puppet master with anyone that they're directly involved with. So if he's not directly involved in controlling and pulling my strings anymore, and he's living in a household, he's going to start doing it covertly with them without them even knowing it, you know? And it was like his sister's husband had dreadlocks that were so long, like down to his butt for years. And my ex has like a shaved head. And the minute I saw her husband with his head shaved, I'm like, oh my God, he has got them like completely brainwashed already. It was a scary thing. That picture scared me to see that, honestly.
Oh my God.
Like this guy, like a cue ball, bald, you know, it scared me. I'm like, oh no, he's going to kill that guy.
The hair represents personal power, and, you know, like, just him cutting that off shows that he's giving up his power over to someone who is too much
Oh my God, the way you just put that just gave me chills. Like, oh my Lord, that's how I felt. I was so afraid when I saw that for that guy. I'm like, he is gonna kill that guy. Like, he's gonna take him out. Because that dude already does. He's like a major gym junkie, and so he's injecting all kinds of crap into his body already. And I'm like, oh, Jeremy's gonna ride that train. He's gonna take him down.
Yeah, that's
what they do.
They do. Yeah,
that's what they do.
Yeah, good people get ruined.
Yeah. It's crazy because, you know, the mirroring thing is one of the most, I guess, upsetting things, because you start to notice that, like you said, phrases that you use are constantly being used by them. It's almost like they're trying to, I bring up that movie, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. It's like they're trying to be you, or what they view as being the best qualities of you, and they're trying to take it while they're trying to destroy you. You know, it feels almost like you are literally in a pod and something is just sucking something out of you. But yet and still, the true authenticity can never be replicated because it comes from you. So it always lands hollow. It's just like when they try to act as if they have empathy. It always lands just a little bit off. It always ends like, that didn't make too much sense, but thank you for thinking about it. You know, does that make sense? Did anybody else experience that?
Yeah. I just want to, like, the things that he was creating, the AI, that's why when you said the emptiness, that AI, at one point, so he made this, okay, hold on, let me slow down. He made this clown character who was a female, and at one point he sent me a picture of me, because I did a Halloween with him one year, and I had my face painted, and he sent me a side-by-side of his clown character AI image and me, and said, oh my God, you guys look so much alike.
Oh,
and I'm
my
like,
God,
what
that's
fuck?
weird and scary.
And the funny thing is that this clown character, there was a video of her as a puppet on strings. And and then he says, we should go around and I'll be the ringmaster. You dress up as this character. I'm not going to mention the name of the character because I don't want him to get any attention. But you could dress up as this clown character because you guys look so much alike, and I'll be your ringmaster.
Just telling you.
So when Narctastic said that, the ringmaster, I'm like, well, now this is in the puppet strings.
Yeah.
That's their wicked mind. That's their wicked world.
Yeah.
How that's what they're living for, you know.
Yeah. So
I can't believe he would portray it so much, though.
Yeah. Let me drop these facts. Narcissistic individuals rely on external validation. This is I can't. There's no way in the world I can argue against this because it is so true. They need validation constantly from outside sources. They can't. They're not the type of people that say, you know what, I'm going to do something today, and don't talk about it until it's done. They're never that type of people. They need people. Okay, Narcastic, not a problem. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. You know, they're the type of people that. Yeah, they're the type of people that if they're writing a book, they need someone to read page by page and tell them that it's great. They're not going to finish the book, okay, unless they get validation for every page, every sentence, every paragraph. Um, they can't, and this is why they use you, the empath, is because you validate them just by you trying, just by you showing them that you love them. They're not internalizing like, oh, they love me. They really do love me. They're internalizing as, hey, yeah, you love me. That makes me important to you. That's it. That's it. That's how they look at it. Another fact is, and this is from Carl Jung, where love rules, there is no will to power. Okay? So if you allow your love for this person to basically erase common sense, okay, because that's what we're doing. We're erasing the facts. We are reorganizing the facts so that it fits in our little narrative of our mind that this person, there's hope and potential. You know, you're gonna continue to lose yourself in this dynamic. No way around it. You're going to lose yourself, and you feel. I'm sure that you feel yourself losing your core identity right now. You know, and hold on one more second. Intermittent reinforcement strengthens attachment. We learned that in the whole Stockholm syndrome thing. You know, it is intermittent reinforcement. You don't know where your next high is coming, but you're happy as hell to get it. You are excited. You don't know when it's coming, but you're going to wait around for it like a good puppy. You're going to wait around for them to come and give you a hug. You're going to wait around for them to give you a kiss out the blue. You're going to wait around for them to walk in and out the blue and say, you know, I really love you. You're going to wait for this because that you're a junkie. You're a junkie to them. What do you have to say about that, Narcos? I got to do with my rant.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, that whole thing where, well, he said, I really love you. Like, he would come around and say that. And it did feel like, of course you do, you know? And I did want to feel that, you know, that acknowledgement finally, you know? Right. But it's very short-lived. Like, it will only last for so long. And then their true colors end up coming to the surface.
And we ignore the true colors. They're bright and vivid in our face. You know, by the time you hit the devaluation stage, there's no person that can tell me honestly when the devaluation stage comes home and grounds itself, and the times between, you know, when they act as if you're seeing to when they act like you're not even in the same room with them. Once that hits, you know something's wrong. Nobody in a loving, caring relationship acts like that. And one of the things that you notice is when they're trying to trigger your emotions, do you notice that they stare at you? Why do you think they're staring at you?
Yeah.
They're trying to see if they hurt you. If you're a woman, they're trying to see if they made you cry. That feeds them. And if that doesn't tell you something, go ahead.
I would say even for me, even when I knew he was when he was pulling back, his true colors were coming out, it was that part right there. Even I did see them, but it was almost like, because that was the familiar part of the cycle, I looked forward to it. Yeah. Because then at that point, I could then go, you know, like recover, regulate. But it was, you know, and I found myself saying that, well, that's just how he is. It's because that's just how, when I was in a narcissistic abuse recovery group, she said, you always say that. You always say that's what he does, and this is how he is.
Right.
But when are you going to snap out of it? You know, because I was looking for that part of the cycle as well. It gave me some kind of solidity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I knew, even, like I said, I could watch him, I could see the patterns happening.
Yeah.
But how I kept playing myself was I would just expect that, yeah, he's gonna turn dark. Mm-hmm. I'm waiting for it, and as soon as he does, then I could retrieve and heal.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. Like I said, we all go through this because you've been mind screwed. You have. We all have. We gave our all to this person until we realized that this was our personal pet demon. And sometimes I actually wonder what I did in a past life to deserve this. I think I used to vocalize that. What did I do in a past life to deserve you? And that's when we start seeing through the fog. I think it was easier. Again, I was already on my journey towards this because I had a project called Fractured Bonds, Tales of Betrayal. I think that was my last project, but I still had like 60% vision. And so I said, okay, well, I can actually, color scale and do editing and stuff like that. So I was like, let me get this project. Little did I know that this was just me trying to beat common sense into me because, I think the first thing that I talked about was the fact that, betrayal comes from those closest to us. It does. It doesn't come from complete strangers. It doesn't come from people we don't know. It comes from people that we trust, people that we care for, people that we believe in, that we have hope in. And they betray us and it hurts, it stings. That led me here because as I was doing that project, I started realizing what I was dealing with. It took me, I didn't suffer. I'm not going to say I did suffer, but it didn't take me that long to snap out of it because I started to understand that, hey, at the end of the day, I'm important. At the end of the day, I do deserve better. And I don't care what I did in that past life. I didn't deserve this person with that demon. I don't deserve it.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Again, we have to have that inner conversation with ourselves. Again, if you find yourself being pulled back in, not too many people here, but I gotta clip this up. If you feel yourself being pulled back in, free guide, completely free. Just go to Gumroad, pick it up, print it out. You leave it as a screensaver. So when you feel those pulls, you actually have, I guess, exercises that you can do that's going to actually help you. It's going to actually help you because, like I said, it's not easy. And that's why I do this. This is why I go live just about every day because it's not easy. And if I can help one person that struggles so much with this, just one person, I've done my job. I've made my time on this planet worth it. The universe will look down upon me and say, you did a good thing. I expected you to save 100, but you saved one. Not just yourself either. That's all we're trying to do here. Saturday, Noctos, you have your thing, correct? I'm gonna clip it up so it's fine.
Yep.
Okay, so Noctos has her. Go ahead and explain it because I get tongue twisted on somatic. Okay.
Thrilled to announce Somatic Saturdays on Zoom. It will be at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we will talk a little bit about the narcissist. We'll talk about the effect of the dynamics on our nervous system. And then get to the real work, which will be the somatic work to reset our nervous system. Okay. And it'll be in person. And this time we're going to focus less on the narcissist, hopefully, and focus more on ourselves.
Okay, I love
and
that.
Give ourselves that time. Yeah.
I love that. So, like I said, I'm going to clip this up. If you're watching on FB or YT, do me a favor, just send me a message and I will send you over to our account so that you can get the Zoom invite. So, and you're doing it via Zoom to, I guess, keep the, I'm going to say riffraff, the narcissist trying to figure out what we're doing.
Yeah. I like everyone to feel safe because you know we might, and also everyone's invited to turn their camera off, but during the time when we're going to be doing these somatic work, you know, like the one where we were shaking it off, you know, that was fun. It was fun to be in a space where we felt safe enough to like do this in front of each other, but you know, like I want to feel safe. I want everyone to feel safe.
Okay, make sure you put up a post leading up. I'll share it out leading up to Saturday, so that way, you know, we can all be on deck. We can all be on board. Yeah, I want to thank her. I expected more people here today, but hey, listen, I'll be back tonight. You know, so if you missed this one, we're going to do part 2 of the conversation. Yeah, I hope to see you as well, Narcastic. Yeah, so you're gonna have to come up if you're on YT or FB. You got to come over to TikTok. It's exclusive to TikTok at 8 p.m. But the conversation continues on. Anything you want to close out with, Knock Talks?
Just focus on yourself. This is a reminder to all people who are getting pulled into the trauma bond, and purposefully regulate your own nervous system as much as possible. Choose peace over chaos. And we've all been there. I was just there. Just remember who's in charge and live your life purposefully.
That's what's up. That's what's up. This healing thing is definitely like going to AA meetings for your whole life. It really is. But with that being said, like I said, I've got a ton of resources. It's up there someplace. Make sure you get the free cheat sheet on what to do when you get that Hoover text, email, or I guess phone call. Before you respond, I'm going to tell you, you need to actually read that first, completely free. Go ahead. I have other resources. Again, the goal is to help people get through this issue, because that's essentially what it is. With that being said, I'll be back at 8 p.m. I want you guys to stay powerful. I want you to keep healing. And the reason why I do everything I do, love you guys. Have a good day. See you later, Knock Talks.
Love you.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And it never goes off. Never ever goes off when I tell it to go off. There you go.